Okay, hello everybody. Sorry for the few minute delay here. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Um, all right, time being 1:32. I'll call the August 14th, 2024 STRGBA GSA meeting to order. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. Here in the room, we have a quorum. All the agencies are member agencies have a representative here. So we have, starting at the far end, I've got Mike Pitcock from City of Waterford. And then we've got next to him, Ian Sather from City of Oakdale. We've got Darren Smallin, City of Riverbank. And then next to him, Christy McKinnon from Stanislaus County. Jesse Franco from MID, myself, Eric Thorburn, Oakdale Irrigation District, and next to me, Timothy Barahona. There we go. I can never get that right. Okay. So that we're good there. So moving right into business from the public at this time. Interested persons are welcome to introduce any topic within the agency's jurisdiction. Matters presented under this heading may be discussed, but no action will be taken by the agency at this meeting. It is not required, but the speakers may provide their name and address. Public comments will be limited to 5 minutes per speaker. So we'll open it up to the public. Anybody? Okay. Okay, see nobody in the room and nobody on the phone. We will move right along. Item 3, these are the July 10th, 2024 meeting minutes. Assuming we've all had a chance to review those minutes, I'll entertain a motion before going out for comments. Thank you, Mike. Have a second. Thanks, Ian. Any comments, questions on the minutes, the motion from the member agencies? Okay, open up to the public on the minutes. Item number 3. Seeing none, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Item number 4. This is the RFP, RFQ. The status on that and then a schedule discussion. So you'll recall we had discussed going out and getting a consultant to help us put together the well mitigation plan, then also develop the management actions and hopefully ultimately implement those. The RFP, RFQ draft to be released was included as part of as an attachment in the agenda packet. So Jesse, do you want to give us more detail on that?
Correct. Yeah, thanks, Eric. So based on the revised GSP, DWR had requested 2 areas that would provide some additional information or development and implementation. That was the well mitigation plan and then the management actions. And so looking at that, looking at the expectation there, we realized that we're going to need some assistance, specifically with some from a consultant that's had some experience in developing these 2. And so what we've put together is the draft request for qualifications, request for proposals that will be issued through MID on behalf of STRGBA, which is attached. And basically what we'd like to do is just solicit, firms that have this type of experience in putting together a well mitigation plan and management actions and going through the details, helping us put together the work group and putting together basically the full comprehensive programs for each. And so what we've included is again the draft RFP. If you have any comments, please let us know. The intent is to try to issue this out this week, or maybe next week, revise the schedule accordingly, and hopefully we'll bring on a consultant sometime in September, October. To help us get this moving. I know time is still of the essence. This is kind of the first hurdle, was getting the revised GSP out or submitted to DWR, and this is the next phase of that effort, is to get these 2 programs developed and implemented by January 31st, right? 2026. And so we still have quite a bit to do in a short period of time. Time goes by pretty quick. So with that, if you have any questions, let me know. Any comments? Let us know.
So the draft we're gonna release on the 16th, so later this week.
Right.
And then we're hoping to get this thing, the due date, all the proposals in by September 16th, so a month even on that, and then we'll start through the selection process in September. There are some parameters, considerations noted in this, what that selection criteria is, a basis is, and then we'll hopefully come back in October to award. Thanks, Jesse.
Sure.
Questions,
No
comments?
action items, so it's just an update.
Just a discussion, yeah, just to let everybody know, and then feedback, obviously, if there's any red flags that we could still address those concerns.
So you're going out to bid on the 16th, so in 2 days?
We're putting out, yep, on the 16th, yep.
That's the plan, barring if
On the
there's any
street.
changes, currently we're working on with our purchasing group. And trying to sort out where we're gonna actually advertise it out, obviously I'm starting the website. MID website, and figure out what the best, and maybe there's some firms that we want to talk to Todd Groundwater on to see if there's specific firms that help that they're aware of.
Anything else? The questions? No? Okay. We'll open it up for discussion and feedback from the public on the RFP, RFQ, item number 4. Hopefully everybody can hear me because nobody's talking, nobody's speaking up. Okay. Good, all right. We'll put it out there and we'll see what we get. We're gonna come back. The selection committee, we're gonna have the ad hoc help with this. And that we've had here for the same ad hoc committee that was originally selected for the GSP revision process has now essentially become the water management and plan and mitigation or management action and well mitigation plan committee. So that'll be the committee to take the first shot at selecting the contractor and the consultant. So we'll bring that back with more updates as we have them. All right. Moving on to item number 5. Work group solicitation status and schedule. So this consultant that we just talked about, when they're selected, they would be working with, it's envisioned that they will be working with a work group that will be composed of both some member agencies, not enough to make a quorum, and some public, members of the public. So we've been working with MID staff, specifically Melissa, to try and get that schedule put together and come up with selection criteria. So we haven't developed that fully, but we wanted to give you an update that we're trying to work in that direction. And ideally, we're continuing to make headway on getting some direction on these management actions and the well mitigation plan, even before we have a consultant on board, if we can get it done. We do have harvest. We're starting harvest already. I've seen some nuts on the ground. So it's not the best time to start meeting and having these groups come together, but we can certainly, I think, have the application enrollment solicitation period start and hopefully select a group so we can start shortly thereafter. Melissa, do you have some other information you can help us out with?
Melissa Williams, Public Affairs Manager at the Modesto Irrigation District, and as Eric noted, I'm assisting STRGBA as well with this project and PR activities. As Eric noted, we're developing a short and simple application for this work group. And part of what he noted, we are going to seek some feedback on, good meeting times and everything like that. We are looking to have that application developed and hopefully finalized in the next 2 weeks or so. And so we'll be sharing that obviously on the STRGBA website. We'll send it out on an email blast, asking all of our respective member agencies to also spread the word. And as Eric noted, we are ideally seeking representation throughout the sub-basin from each management area. So just stay tuned and for that application, we encourage you to also share it. Apply.
Thank you very much. So with that, Comments, questions from the member agencies on that? The work group. Jeez, doing a pretty good job, I think, so far. Let's open it up to the public and see what we get from them. Let's open up to the public. Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you. It's great. We'll keep you updated as that process proceeds. Thank you, Melissa. Look forward to working with you on that. Thanks for volunteering. All right, item number 6. So this is the STRGBA GSA budget discussion. So this is for 2025 calendar year. Very back of the agenda, the draft was included. So this is just based on discussions with MID and myself. We put in the budget. You can see there's the middle column is the 2023 budget as approved, previously approved. That should actually say, or I'm sorry, 2024 budget and then 2025 budget next to that. So administration fees and costs, we're proposing to keep that the same at $5,000. Hopefully it doesn't go up too much, but I think we obviously have those costs ongoing. The 2024, just working my way down from the top, 2024 revised GSP revisions, those and that work was done and it's complete. Todd Groundwater still has one more invoice to give us, but it looks like we're going to be just shy, a little shy of that 330. So we might have a little bit of money to carry over into next year, but we'll wait for that last invoice. So we have 0 allocated for that. Keep in mind that we're hoping to get some feedback from DWR on that revised GSP by the end of the year. So hopefully it's approved. If it's not, we might have some unbudgeted expenses there. Fingers crossed. We've done everything we can to try and get a plan that's going to be approved. So we're going to assume it's 0 for now. The annual report, we have $190,000, which is the same as last year. We have a work release, I guess, a contract with Todd Groundwater, as well as and included in that is Wood and Curran. To get that annual report done, the actual costs are estimated closer to $160,000, but we put $190 in case there's some extra additional efforts that need to be done there. And also, we're getting pretty close to our 5-year update. That'll be due in 2027, but we'll start that really. It'll be the most of that work will be done in 2026. If we wanted to start a little early, then that gives us a little bit of a buffer to use to do that. Grant preparation, hoping that grant funds are going to become available. So we're putting $25,000, keeping $25,000 in the budget. Next year, we're proposing to, in case something comes up. Ideally for things like monitoring well installation to fill data gaps. And then also groundwater dependent ecosystems. We still got some work to do there that we've communicated to DWR that we're going to do ultimately. Not the highest priority yet, but it'd be nice if a grant came along to get it done. Insurance, that's an ongoing expense. So we're keeping that in the budget. Legal and auditing, again, keeping that in the budget. Didn't have to dig into that, but this year with management action development and well mitigation plan development, I think we just need to keep that in mind moving forward and funds available for that. Model update runs, I included 50, or we proposed to include $50,000 just in case the management action discussion turned and water budget and distribution between management areas. If we go that route, just amongst the basin, if we need to do any model runs, then I'd like to have some money set aside to be able to do that work without coming back to the committee and going back to our boards. Monitoring wells, again, $0, but it's something we need to focus on, hoping for a grant. So $0 this year. Proposed to be allocated. Public outreach, we're going to have significant public outreach as part of the work group and management action, well mitigation plan development. Website maintenance, the website's actually being updated here. We've got MID actually approved a contract to get that updated already. And we're starting that effort and it's going to continue into next year, correct?
Correct. So it's in motion, the contract, we received the proposal and proposed schedule. And so I think the contract has not yet been fully approved yet, but I think it's in motion.
Okay. And then there'll be some ongoing costs there just with subscription fees and things like that. And then we've also got a little bit of a buffer in there in case once it's done, if we want to make some edits, modifications throughout the year, then we have a little bit of money to do that.
So the increase was due to that contract?
Yes, correct. Hopefully in future years, we'll go back to, 5,000,
Yeah.
something like that. DMS, we haven't had a whole lot of comments, feedback, reasons to use the DMS other than what's required by DWR. So we're not proposing to make any modifications there this year at least. But we're keeping it in the budget. A lot of these that we're still allocating zero, I'm just putting it in there as placeholders so we can continue to keep that in the back of our mind for future years. Management actions, well mitigation consultant, we just came up with a ballpark number of $200,000. We don't know what that's going to end up being. Or going to solicit these proposals and we'll see. Hopefully that 200,000 is enough to cover it. Again, this is a working draft, so that can go up or down depending on the feedback we receive and as we move forward with ultimately approving this. Well mitigation plan funds, that $300,000 is what we committed to in the resolutions for GSP adoption. We have proposed to collect that upfront this year because we've committed to having that available January 2026. So if we budgeted for it next year, there's a time period between the invoice and collecting those funds. And so to have them ready to go, we're proposing just to collect that upfront now. Anything that's collected and not used can be carried over to the next year, which is another point that we looked at what we have available and there may be a carryover right now. We believe there's going to be carryover from last year. So we'll have to consider that if we want to reduce the amount that we're invoicing accordingly. We can carry over all of it and reduce this amount by all that amount that we're carrying over or some portion thereof. Right now, we don't have a real good number because we still have some expenses that need to be, we need to project out and understand we still have some expenses in the remainder of the year. So this is a working number and working items. We can add or subtract items based on what everybody's feedback is, but this is something we wanted to get in front of all the member agencies now. We would expect that you would take this back to your agency and your council and your boards and get their buy off. And in the future, we would bring it back and get approval. Of note, on the bottom, I did try to make it a little clearer this year on what each of the agencies, these STRGBA agencies, could expect their ultimate invoice is. That's plural invoices would be. So the budgeted amount at the very bottom, you're looking at $112,000 per agency if we didn't, before accounting for any kind of carryover. One invoice would come from MID, and that's for the annual report because they have the contract with Todd Groundwater for that annual report and the GSP update. The balance would come from, from MID. It'd be that latter. So the MID has the contract with Todd Groundwater for the annual report. City Modesto does. MID would have the balance. So there's the breakdown. MID has the balance of all the administration, the grant preparation, the insurance, all those costs come from MID, and then the cost of the annual report comes from the City Modesto. So you're looking at 88,000 plus from MID, and then 23 plus from City Modesto to make up that 112. Tuolumne County also has a share in the annual report expenses because as a GSA, they're still obligated to have an annual report just like the GSP. So they would share in the GSP and they share in the annual reports. So their breakdown and only invoice would come from City Modesto, and their breakdown is 23,000 plus, contributing to that 811. The way that's broken down is in the notes above that. So hopefully that'll help when bringing that to your board, your council, and explaining it. With that, you have anything to add on that, Jesse?
No.
Okay. We'll open it up for discussion. Any questions, comments, feedback from the member agencies on the budget, draft budget?
I had a question, but you answered it while you were talking.
Okay.
So.
Went on for a while. Thanks. Okay, well, then we will open it up to the public. Anybody in the room?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, so I'm just clarifying, reading the notes and, so the annual reports and the well mitigation plan funds, I'm unclear as to whether the well mitigation consulting costs are calculated for Walton County.
They have assumed that that is our GSA cost. It's not something that Tuolumne County is sharing in. The well mitigation plan, those consultant fees. The only thing that Tuolumne County is sharing in 1/8 is the annual report. You see on the annual report, the subheading number 1 there. That refers to note number 1. So if you look down at the last sentence on number 1, that kind of gives you a.
So we're sharing it at equal cost of the annual reports and well mitigation funds.
Nothing, no share proposed currently in this budget for Tuolumne County. That's only shared by our member agencies in the STRGBA GSA.
Understood.
So the 190 divided by 8, it gets you to that 23,750.
So I'll bring that before our governing body and report back.
Thank you. Other comments, questions from the public? Sir, can you speak into the microphone? Okay.
Eric, one question on my part.
Yeah.
Do you want every agency to bring you a resolution? You just want
No.
to make them aware of it?
Yeah, if you need to have formal approval by your board or your
The
agency, you
budget's
can.
already approved.
Right,
Just have
okay.
to-
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you're not looking for some
No,
action.
I just want everybody to be in a position to take action here. So whatever you need to do to get that done. Good question, thank you. Okay, any other questions on the budget? Comments from the public on the budget? Okay, a lot of people on the phone. I haven't seen a single hand raised the entire meeting. This is not the norm, okay. Going once. Going twice, okay. All right, thank you. We'll bring this back and hope to have consensus. So the next meeting, item number 7, the next meeting is currently proposed to be on September 11th. At 1:30, we'll be here at OID again. Are there any issues with a meeting date in September 11th? 9/11? No. I hate to have others ruin our day. Okay, we'll plan on that. And if there's any reason we need to move it, we can discuss it. But for now, we'll keep it on the 11th of September. I'll open it up to public one more time officially. Comments, questions from the public on the next meeting date? Okay. Item number 8, committee comments and reports. So one of the things I did want to mention was that an update on the pole cell grant. So OID received that $10.4 million grant from DWR. 14.4, I'm sorry, 14.4. So I was hoping to be 18. Yes, 14.4, even better. We are moving forward with the tunnels. So there's 2 tunnels in the pole cell. We're in a position to move forward with those tunnels. We've actually had the bid already out the streets and we received those bids. We're planning to award the bid at our meeting in September. So we will be moving forward with that this winter. The balance we're going to need to get done next winter. DWR recently reached out to us. We have a new grant manager. She wanted to introduce herself, and then at that meeting she also she let us know that she wanted to come down along with a few others from DWR on the 19th, so Monday. They are hoping to make that into a little bit of a public outreach event, or more of a GSA, not a public outreach, but a GSA outreach event. Can't have a quorum there, so I've invited Christy and Jesse to join us on that call or during that meeting, whether it be through a call or in person. they're envisioning the first few hours to be used not only to go over invoices and get some feedback on the grant process, but also, which you both might want to join us in on, is get some feedback on us for what future grant funding needs we have and desires we have. So just going through, conveniently, we went through the budget today. I think the two major funding needs we have right now would be monitoring wells and groundwater dependent ecosystems and closing those data gaps. But there are, I'm sure, obviously there are others. We have utilized the FSS Facilitation Support Services Agreement with DWR. That's been helpful. However, having Melissa here to help us and having, skin in the game and somebody that is going to be around long term is was our recommended approach moving forward with the well mitigation and monitoring action development. So I think FSS is not something I think we want to recommend to them long term, but we're open to letting them know whatever anybody feels. And if something comes up, I'm open to suggestions now, or if something comes up between now and Monday, feel free to email me if we can pass that along to them. But wanted to let you know that was planned for the 19th.
Is there a DWR call for projects at this point in time, or do we know a schedule when they're gonna do a call for projects?
There's no openings right now for grants
Okay,
that I'm aware of.
that's what I figured, but I wanted.
Yeah.
That's the question. We are
Yeah.
starting the process, hopefully, to get one of the projects that was not identified in the GSP
Mhm.
moving forward, so
Mhm.
just trying to figure out funding sources. if
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Projects is definitely always going to be something that we want to have funding for, so I'll bring that up. Yeah, thanks. Anything else? No? Are there any other reports from the members of the committee? No? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
This morning.